Alright, we'll bring the soldiers back to Rangai. We should start work on these gunboats soon. Yeah, a gunboat in 9 turns out of Jimboomba, and a gunboat out of Freeland in 9 turns as well. So that'll be good. We'll go and explore a free path, then we'll reassign the cargo ship that we have going to Uzbek over to either Jimboomba or Mandiri. I guess both of those are already taken up by a land trade route, so switching over might be a little tricky. And we can still shoot people. That's fine. We can leave those aliens be. Alright, the Explorer has a new module. The aliens are friendly. Let's see if we can get over to the crashed satellite. Oh, check that thing out. Well, this is an alien kraken. Well, that does look hefty. But what sort of stats does it have? I have no idea. Alright, the trade vessel though. Is that currently being blocked? No, we can continue trading 11 science off of trading with Mandira. So we'll keep that going. And it doesn't look like we're going to have much luck scouting with that soldier, so we can bring him home. And we do have enough energy now to go and buy a worker here. Some people in chat want me to attack that Kraken. Ah, good, he's gone. He did look like he could be trouble.
Affinity point in either purity, supremacy, or harmony, you can now choose an upgrade for your soldier unit. Once you choose an upgrade, all of your soldiers will instantly adopt this upgrade and change appearance. You can upgrade additional unit types as you earn higher levels of affinity.
Well, that's interesting. So they all upgrade at once, and you don't have to pay anything for that. Anyways, we've researched alien biology, so we've got a harmony point, and we can clear miasma. And our workers are immune to miasma. Alright, now let's go and look at the upgrade list. I have 1 point in harmony. We can select a perk for our marine. Currently we don't have enough affinity points to unlock any of these guys, so let's see. What are our options here? Plus 15% when attacking, or plus 15% healing when not embarked. Probably the attack bonus. I would prefer that, since Kozlov is currently acting fairly friendly to us. I don't see a lot of units running around, so we'll be the one initiating the attack, so hitting first and hitting hard, that's what we want. We'll go with plus 15% when attacking. And confirm. Alright, so does that mean all of our soldiers are now Marines? Yes, that's exactly what it means, and we've got 14 strength. Sweet. And we can develop a virtue. I think we are going to go down the might line then. Even if it's not the most useful tree, I think we're going to need it if we want to take out 2 AIs. We are playing on the hardest difficulty after all. So if we're going to win militarily, we have to probably need to push pretty hard in that direction. Although, now that we have a decent science per turn, well, Foresight's not going to help us because we're not happy. Does any of this give us health? Alright, we'll start going down might then. That doesn't seem like an easy remedy to our little health problem. We'll just have to build out units. Alright, so what we really want though is the 15% boost towards military unit production, but our next virtue isn't for 20 turns, so that's going to be a while. Okay, so our main weapons are going to be coming out of computing, at least for the short term. But if I want stronger gunboats, let's see, Zeitgeist? I'll want more affinity points, and we already have one in harmony, so we may as well continue in that direction. And then we can go and hybridize that with some other affinity, but tissue engineering, that's 1200 science required. 2000 science, only 847 science for alien adaptation. Let's see, what else does that get us? Xenofuel plant, +1 energy from xenomass, +2 trader specialist slots. Xeno nursery, +10% science, and plus science from xenomass. We do have a lot of xenomass, so going xenosciences just makes sense, and we get our xenomass well. Alright, let's go and open Alien Sciences and see if Alien Sciences gets us a free xenomass well from a nest if it's friendly and within our territory. And we've got this guy, we can go and have him improve that gold. Meanwhile, we do want to keep an eye on Kozlov. Doesn't seem to have many units running around. These guys want to pull back for Kozlov as well. Hey Dr. Vu, or Dry Vu. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream.
This may be helpful.
Covert agents in the field, which are currently idle. Assign them. Alright. What's happening with these guys? So they've arrived in their cities. We can choose their operations. So first of all, in our military target, number 1, let's see what we can do. Establish a network. I guess that's useful. I think we need to do that before we can get anything else going. Okay, let's read that more carefully. Establish the agent's operational network and gather additional information about the city. The higher the agent's rank, the more information is provided. Once established, the network remains until the agent is killed or leaves the city. Alright, so I guess that'll give us information on what he's building and all the rest, which is something that I want, so we'll establish network there. And we could establish a network. Alright, I'm very curious to see what's happening in all these cities, so we'll do networks for all of them, and then we'll start siphoning either credits or science, or maybe something more serious. But that'll do for now. And we'll get a gold mine going. That gets us 2 more production and 1 more culture. Excellent. Alright, Kozlov has Rangers, Slavic Rangers. So these guys have a ranged attack. But if he just has the 2 of them, that bodes well for our attack. How far am I from my gunboats? 4 turns and 7 turns. Why has our production in the capital slowed? Well, that's fine. A DJ Music 10. The game is about colonizing one planet. I guess every new game you play is a new planet, but you don't hop between planets in Beyond Earth. Tittleton, I am playing on normal speed, and on a standard map with a total of 8 players, 7 AI factions, and we're playing on Apollo, which is the hardest difficulty. Okay, so the quarry is done. What do I want here? Marine may as well stay there and heal up. Got a trade convoy. Our best yields here. We could go with the Rangi, that would be a total of 9 production and 3 food. Or we could get 6 science and 2 energy off of trading with Kabatha. We can also go and trade with this station here, and that would get us extra production. And if we are going to be trading our gunboats out of here, I might do that, and then have a trade route coming out of Rangai over to Jimbumba? That name is surprisingly hard to remember. And then we'll get the production of food going that way. Alright, so would I rather have 5 production or 2 energy and 6 science? 6 science is still quite a bit. Alright, we'll do one more round of science. I don't want to fall too far behind. And then maybe we'll switch over to production later on. And Star of Hope is saying that I don't have to worry about the trade routes finishing naturally. If we declare war, trade routes with your enemies return to your cities, which, well, that's good to know. Alright, but certainly the trade routes that we have in between our cities won't be safe if we do declare war. So let's have a quick look at what sort of units the Slavs have. They've got a ranger, 2 rangers, and 2... Let's see, is that 2 marines? Yeah, 2 marines at the very least. So we'll pull back down this hill, guard our trade route, and then once we have a few gunboats out, we'll see what combat is like. Alright, so a farm gets me +1 food, whereas a generator gets me +2 energy. We'll make that a generator instead. Alright, the Pan-Asian Coalition, or whatever their actual name is, they want 3 xenomass, and we'll give them a favor. Well, I'm not currently using my xenomass, it's true, and I don't expect to use it in the next at least 15 to 20 turns. Alright, we'll see what these favors are all about. But that does mean... well, where am I getting the xenomass from then? 7 xenomass here. We have 4 xenomass. Okay, so that means that friendly nests inside our territory act as xenomass wells. Although if that's true, 2 + 7 should be 9, whereas we only have 4, and that's after selling 3 to the pack. So I'm not sure where the other 2 have gone to. Alright, population increase, that's great. Quest log update. The Vital Frontier. A scientist working on our vivarium has made a profound discovery. The xenocyte cultures she has developed have unique reactions to tissue from Earth organisms. She claims they could be used to make Earth-alien hybrid organs. That's kinda cool, but also kinda creepy. Her colleagues condemn her work as dangerous and unethical. Meddling in alien biology before we fully understand the consequences. They are threatening to shut the project down. Okay, so if we continue the research, we get +1 science from vivariums. Stop the project, +1 food from vivariums. I would prefer the science. Let's make a bunch of Frankenstein monsters. But that probably means I'll want to build a vivarium over in the capital. Alright, so we are pumping a gunboat 2 turns and 1 turn. And this marine will go and guard our trade routes from the Slavic Federation. Ooh, combat rovers. Alright, so they are starting to pump out a sizable military. A few gunboats might not be enough. Well, let's see. What are their combat statistics like? I guess we'll have to check that next turn.
Your explorer has noticed something strange nearby. It could be a ruin, some sort of wreckage, or perhaps alien in nature. You should order your explorer to the site and excavate it to see if there is something worthwhile to be found.
Okay, thank you. But I have to walk all the way around these aliens. And next turn. Alright, so I do want to check on the combat stats for these units. So if I got my guy, and if I mouse over, I wish there was an easy way to check the combat stats. Alright, well, we'll just hang out here to keep an eye on things then. We could fortify. Our gunboat is done. And Jimboomba needs... The Seto Nursery, we've already built that in our capital, so we may as well finish that out. We don't want to get too unhealthy. And then probably another gunboat then. Oh, great. And of course, these guys have to stand on top of our runes there. And we accidentally cleared a nest. So we got 25 energy out of that. Hopefully that doesn't make our good friends, the aliens, angry. But since they weren't protecting the nest, I didn't even realize that we would clear it just by walking on top. Okay, so if we want petroleum, we should probably buy our way out here, but if we just assume that we're going to win this war, which I think we pretty much have to at this point, with our cities so far apart and these guys just sitting down there, then maybe we shouldn't waste our dust on buying tiles. But we do want... We'll want a trade depot. And we'll add the laboratory and then Seto Nursery. And then once we have enough to afford another trade route, I'll go and buy one out and use the 2 free slots over in this city. Oh, did I call energy dust again? My bad. We are playing on normal speed. Okay, we failed to establish a network in Central. We established a network undetected and a network here, but we were detected. So we got promotions for that, but did our failed attempt result in... Alright, so we don't have any info on Central, but now, well, how do I look at the city now that I have a network? Switch project. Intel report, okay. He's building a combat rover. That doesn't sound good. And his production in that city is 17, whereas we have 21 production and 21 production there. So we could outproduce this guy. I can't imagine he's too much farther ahead on tech. So the outlook on war is decent, assuming we stop building all of these buildings and switch over to military units. So do I really want that thorium reactor? No, not really. And what about over in the city here? How do I check that? Combat strength, tac jet. He has, wow, KP has tac jets already. That sounds kind of scary, actually. Although the tac jets do have a lower range attack strength than the gunboats, so I shouldn't be too worried. Alright, these guys produce 20 production, which is on par with what we're making, although I imagine their science yields are a bit higher. But otherwise we seem fine here, and they're building buildings instead of units, so that's good. Let's, if we failed, they probably have a spy and counter-espionage. We can try checking out Vanguard, or Axiom. Or we can just go and reassign him to USPEC. Alright, reassign to USPEC. Traveling 4 turns, and we can choose an operation here. Siphon energy, siphon science. Easy. At the moment, the only thing we can do is siphon energy, so we'll do that. And siphon energy, I'm not sure. We need higher intrigue in the city. Alright, that's fine. Oh, I guess one other downside, other than the minus 10% science and culture, is that we'll have more intrigue in our cities, which does mean if the AI is planting their spies here, they'll be more easily able to pull off various operations that won't be so good for us. Right, so we have the mine up. Let's see, let's go get the fibers online. And we have, alright, how do our combat values compare here? I can't tell. Alright, we've got the gunboat out. You can go and do some exploring as well. And we'll get out of the miasma to heal, although almost all of these tiles are covered in miasma. Alright, we'll just pull over here. May as well do some exploring. We've discovered Omoicane, and Omoicane will give us 4 food if we trade with them. But where is Omoicane? Oh, way over here. So we're probably not going to be trading with them either, although if we wanted some good trade routes going, if these guys are coastal, we should try to meet them. Liqueur looks coastal. Alright, we'll try to send a gunboat over there until we have a sufficient army to deal with the Slavic Federation. And we do have a clear route in between our capitals now, so that'll be good. And there is a resource pod here that we could send someone over to pick up. Let's see, we've got a progenitor rune there too. Alright, we can build ourselves a quick explorer. An explorer will take us 2 turns, sure. Put that in front of the thorium reactor. And get the plantation going. Alright, this trade vessel. We were previously trading with Uzbek. Do we have a better trade option? No, we don't. So we'll keep that one going. We're getting 10 energy and 7 science off of it, and they are getting 5 energy and 3 science. Fortify there. And doesn't look like we're going to be able to get around. There's some petroleum to the south, a 7 petrol, and then we've got Reslin, a lot of Reslin. So if we dropped on the hill right here, we would have 3 Reslin, fibers, what's this? Silica, and 7 petroleum. Well, that is an attractive looking spot to settle. Our cooperation agreement with Kabatha has ended. Discovered that resource pod.
As Adam Smith said, trade is the lifeblood of nations.
Alright, so Suzanne Fielding wants to trade open borders. I am not interested in that. Our borders don't currently block her off, but combined with all of the aliens in the way,
When you meet
it should
a
be...
new neighbor, you greet her with heartfelt courtesy. So also will we get to know our new alien neighbors.
The aliens plus our cultural borders should slow their expansion into what I'm claiming to be our territory. Alright, so with alien sciences, we get the Xeno fuel plant. This is energy from Xenomass, the Xeno nursery, science from Xenomass, and the Xenomass well. So let's see how that affects our yields here. Total defeat. Let's see. We are potentially getting some yields off of that. We are getting Xenomass from somewhere. We're not getting any science off of that. Alright, so that's good. And it gets us over to alien adaptation if we want another harmony affinity point. Xeno swarm requires 1 Xenomass, which we do have. This is a unit with 34 strength. That sounds pretty strong. Human soldiers and adapted alien lifeforms. Simple, versatile Malay assault unit. We could go for that. Alien Sanctuary, Mind Stem, Xenodrone. Alright, fine. We want a powerful unit, and that's with, that's only going to cost us 800 science. 120 to produce with a strength of 34. And compare that to the main unit that I'm pumping now. Gunboat strength, sure. Let's go with the Xenoswarm, see how that performs for us. And if people do want to see the resource icons on, I'll happily turn them on again. Okay, so we've improved all the tiles in our territory here, except for the gold down to the south. Let's move on over here. And we'll explore around the long way here. Got a gunboat coming in 4 turns at the capital. Alien Sea Dragon. So the aliens are blue in color because they're friendly with us. That means they're not going to initiate any hostilities against us. The whole map is this sort of darkish, bluish tinge color to it, because that's just the planet I happen to land on. There are also there are two other biomes that do look a lot prettier, and I rolled this planet randomly, but the next time I play, we'll use one of the prettier biomes. Oh, I'll be right back. Okay, so, quest decision. Organic growth. The stewards at our Cyto nursery are reporting a monumental discovery. Through the study and hybridization of the indigenous fauna, we've managed to create a bioorganic mesh which mimics their cellular division. Integrating the mesh into our production would speed things along tremendously. Unfortunately, it takes a rather long time to create, so there's only so much to go around. We'll have to decide how best to distribute it. Okay, we can designate the mesh for unit production. 5% boost to military units. I think we're gonna pump military units for the next little while, or production from Cyto nurseries. Let's do the 5% for military. I did do 5% for military there, right? Yes. Cyto nurseries now provide a military unit production bonus. Excellent. Alright, so we're gonna go and try to meet up with the coastal cities on the other continent, and then we'll come home and start a war against Kazlov. Okay, so we've completed the titanium mine. We want to get... Is this miasma? No, it's just a regular forest. We want to get the silica mined out as well. Right, so we've got 2 more gunboats on the way here. I don't know if we need to finish Freelands right away, so we can shift the Explorer out in front, and maybe even the thorium reactor as well. Oh, we don't want to attack that sea dragon. It is friendly to us. Alright, so the other continent isn't that far away. At least not by gunboat. And I would appreciate it if this alien manticore would move off of my basalt. Alright, so if we shoot him, I think that does tell him to move. And I think we can shoot them without going unfriendly. And if we wanted some experience on our marine, we could attack here. Well, this will be good to learn how much we can get away with respect to aggression against the aliens while we're friendly with them. So let's go and attack. I do want some experience on these guys, and we do get the 50% experience bonus from opening the Might Virtue. And this will let us get that basalt online sooner. But since we were just aggressive and we are worried about a change in status here, can we risk moving our worker forward? No, we'll have him heal a turn. Oh, and we do have something to do covert op-wise. Choose operation. Let's establish a spy network.
Excuse me, I have important information for you.
Covert agents. Thank you. Alright, so we can fortify there. This worker can get to work on a mine for that basalt. And we can go around these sea dragons. A pack explorer. Paraxite, the bottom of the continent. And explorer done. We're going to go and check out this resource pod. Ah, we don't have embarkation yet. Right, well, we can get, or try to get over here, assuming we're not blocked by aliens. And if we wanted embarkation, that would be planetary survey. Alright, that's just 2 turns. We can definitely go and pick that up. In fact, let's delay alien adaptation to pick up planetary survey. Alright, so do we have a clear path to Liqueur yet? Almost. That should be some good. Oh, and Citadella is also coastal. Awesome. So that should be some very profitable trade routes. Miasma, I don't know if I want to stand on that. Fine, we'll just heal up there for now. And we've finished that plantation. Alright. Do I want to do something about this xenomass? Well, it is 3 xenomass, or we could do something with that first. Alright, currently we do have plenty of xenomass. This is a 2 xenomass. Okay, so this is the nest that we'll keep in our territory to keep people friendly, and we can replace these nests with xenomass wells as the opportunity presents themselves. So let's go drop a well on this nest, and that'll get us 3 food from the tile as well. That's pretty nice. And we are going to get embarkation soon, so let's get to the coast. Yes, Jimboomba really is the default name for our second city there. And I could go and settle a 4th city, although I do need to get my health under control first. I think we'll just go and attack these guys, and then we'll worry about filling in space later.
Value, and establishing the exact dollar value of the property should be a priority.
And there is game music. I think I have it pretty quiet right now. Can you let me know what the... I guess there's no game music playing at the moment. Oh, actually there is. It's very quiet. I can up the game volume a little. But first of all, let me know what the text reading speech sounds like relative to my volume, and whether I should be increasing or decreasing that. Alright, well, we got embarkation and work barge. Work barge lets our workers embark and build naval improvements. That's definitely an improvement over Civ 5. Those single-use workboats were really annoying. Alright, so xenomass, well. And... okay. I want this beetle to move off of my gold. And did that kill him? No. But we can go and improve the algae, I suppose. Right, so we have that, a clear route to that, Citadella that is, and Omokane, we can get a route going to them as well. So currently we're using all of the trade routes from our capital. Are there any buildings that we can build that would expand our number of trade routes? Not at the moment, but I think that should be our next research priority. So unfortunately this search function only, well, trade vessel, trade convoy, trade depot. That's all in pioneering. What gets us more trade though? Filter, improvements, energy, health, victories. Alright, so that's not going to be helpful. Which of these technologies sound like they would give us a trade route? And if any of you have played this game already, or have seen how we can increase our number of trade routes, feel free to type that into the chat. Yes, we can check the Civilpedia. It's much more extensive, or existent. At least there is one compared to our experience with Endless Legend, which is also a fun game, but not quite as large of a studio, I guess. Trade, quests, function, narrative, choices, survival, trade systems. But what about the number of trade routes, and how do I expand that? Unit upgrades. Buildings. Going through them alphabetically isn't going to help either. Alright, well, maybe we'll stumble across the tech, or maybe someone in the chat will eventually know. The auto plant is the only thing that gets us another trade route. Thanks, Emblem Fire. Alright, where do I pick up the auto plant? I think that was in engineering or somewhere near that. Robotics? Auto plant. Alright. Let's queue up robotics next then. That also gets us the tac jet. So if we do want more coastal trade routes, we'll have to settle more coastal cities. But a city right on the edge here. Let's turn the grid back on. 1, 2, 3, we'd have the algae, the copper, 6 titanium, another algae, coral. The progenitor rune doesn't really count. 5 petroleum, But over here wouldn't be bad. Let's turn the yields on too. Those yields are pretty pathetic looking. So not really the most exciting spot to settle. But with improvements, it wouldn't be bad. It's a lot of hills, so we would have good production, and we could grow it out with trade routes for food. Alright, so that's an option. Turn the grid off. Ooh, what the heck is going on here? The worker animation is pretty cool. Or it's new at least. And thus exciting from that perspective. Alright, let's take a look at the trade screen and see what the yields would be from our intercontinental trade routes. Alright, so by sea, trade vessel. Trading with Citadella would get us 9 science, or wait, 0 science, and 9 energy. That's not terribly impressive. Here we've got 10 energy and 7 science by trading with our near neighbors here who we want to go to war with. That we get so much science off of them is a little disturbing. It might mean that they have are a lot farther ahead of us on science, which could be problematic. La Cour gets us 10 energy and 2 science, so we're probably about even with them as far as science goes, which is comforting to know since we are playing on the hardest difficulty. Alright, so those external routes, they do get us a decent amount of energy, but they're not as exciting as I was hoping they would be. So if a naval route frees up, we might send one over across the other continent, but no real rush there. And what is this? Ectogenesis pod. That, whoa, and what's going on here? Bunch of combat rovers. Well, we're gonna need to bring these gunboats home. But, what is an ectogenesis pod? We can look that up. Ectogenesis pod, all farms get +1 food. Alright, that doesn't sound so threatening. I guess it's a wonder, and that's why we were told about it. Fair enough. And this worker can go and improve the algae here. We would get +1 science, +1 production from coral, and +1 food from algae. Not the most exciting, but we're there. We may as well improve that. And let's get vision over to the city-state / trading post, outpost, whatever the proper terminology is. And now we'll bring our gunboats back and get ready for what's going to be a pretty big war. The Slavic Federation does have a lot of units now. Alright, so there's another gunboat done. What do we want next? We could go and build out that thorium reactor. I think we finally finished that in the capital, so that's only 4 turns. We get more dust per. We could get a combat rover for 12 strength, which doesn't sound very good. A marine for 14 strength also doesn't sound great. Another gunboat. Yeah, I think we need to get serious about this war, or the impending war. Let's go churn out another gunboat. And this trade vessel. What's our best trade option here? 6 science with liqueur. Oh, 10 energy and 7 science with prosperity. Prosperity. Although we would be giving up food by not, and culture. 9 culture though. Okay. Next. Alright, I think the 10 energy and 7 science is too much. But I mean, 9 culture. Alright, we'll keep on going, trading with Church of the Dawn's Light. But when this trade vessel finishes, let's see, how much longer do we have on that one? Trade overview. Outbound. It's still 16 turns. Alright, well, we will eventually want to trade with prosperity there. And I have 600 viewers on my stream. That's a new record for me. I think the highest I've had before was 300. Alright, so a trade here. Energy, return, and open borders for a favor. I don't think so, Tabitha. So, with all of you new people listening to me, I have you as a mildly captive audience. I will let you know that I also have a YouTube channel where I have a number of Civilization 5 videos and other 4X games and also non-strategy games. So if you're not familiar with me, if this is the first time you've seen me play, heard me speak, then yeah, please also go check out my YouTube channel. There's a link on my Twitch page, or you can always Google me later, Primeval Civ. Alright, let's go grab that resource pod. 60 energy, not bad. We have a nice stockpile of energy. We can use that to rush by some things in the event of an emergency. But choosing production, what do we want here? More culture with an alien preserve. We could grab a Pharmalab and then go and build Pharmalabs in our other cities with the 25% production bonus. And that would get us healthy again, which getting healthy again at some point would be good. But building these buildings is going to be distracting us from making units. I think we can hold off a little bit and build a quick Pharmalab, and then we'll switch back to gunboats. These guys still need to get home anyways. Alright, we'll explore with these gunboats. And yes, Dantes, I will be uploading this to YouTube, assuming no horrible technical problems. Even if we do lose this game, I still think it's been fairly entertaining and educational. I've had fun and learned a lot, and I hope you have too. Let's see, we finished the silica mine there. We could go and work on the forest, but there is that alien in the way. We want to leave that nest to keep these guys friendly. We'd rather clear out this nest and get a xenomass well on the 7 xenomass. So, go and attack the beetle there. And attack here. A little more experience on our marine. And we can have our worker go and build something in that forest. I don't know if there are lumber mills or we can only chop that down, but we'll find out soon. Alright, so we've established the network. Let's see what they're doing here. Intel report. Currently researching genetic design. I wonder what that is. Genetic design is over here. And what am I currently researching? Alien adaptation and something over here with the auto plant. Yeah. Alright, but genetic design does what exactly? Gene garden, health and science, cloning plant, production and food, and the ectogenesis pod, which was that wonder that we got the message about. Alright, so they're not researching any techs that threaten us too much. Choose operation. We'll go and steal energy there.
Torgowlia opiera się nie na potrzebach, a na sprawiedliwości.
Alright, so Kozlov wants open borders and titanium and is willing to offer us 4 energy and a favor. Maybe I'm undervaluing these favors. I mean, obviously favors are worth nothing if we're going to go and declare war on them, but I've also been laughing at the favors that Kavatha and Suzanne have been offering me, so no thanks on that deal. But their armies are mobilizing. Veterans gained. Alright, so the 2 fights we had with the aliens there. The aliens are still blue. They've got a siege worm running around in their nest there. But we did gain a rank on our marine here. You can fortify there, and our worker. We can chop the forest, giving 20 production to Freeland. we can construct a generator, which also removes the forest, but gets us extra food and extra energy at the loss of 1 production, or we could build a farm for 2 food. Is there a special improvement that I can build on forests? I don't know. But rather than improving the forest, let's go put a farm or a generator on that river tile, and we can pull these units back as well. Alright, so we'll go and explore the waters here. May as well go around the long way. We'll bring all of our gunboats around and we'll start our war with Koslov. And I would like it if this beetle would move, so I can go and extract this progenitor rune. We'll bring some of our gunships around and take some shots at that wolf beetle. Develop a virtue. Alright, increased military production, and that leads us over to our units boosting health. Liberation Army, conquering outposts, turns them over to outposts for ourselves. That doesn't sound like it's going to be relevant. Kozlov doesn't currently have any outposts. They're all at full city status. But he does have this combat rover. We should probably pull in or over towards the city then. And do we want to pull back here? Our spies are giving us vision on this area, so we can pull back to this forest here. Maybe cool tensions off so that we can still have the element of surprise. We can be the aggressors instead of the defenders. Do I want bonus versus alien life forms? No. The health bonus sounds nice. Liberation Army seems irrelevant. Adaptive Sciences sounds very useful. Scavenging, we're not really going to be doing a lot of alien fighting. Extra bonuses from strategic resources, free affinity, and intrigue. So I really like the stuff in level 2, not so excited about level 1, but we'll need to go down this line to get into level 2. And by the looks of it, we'll have to pick up the other stuff too to grab everything on level 2. What is the bonus for finishing Might level 2? Increased attack, both ranged and melee, by 5%. Alright, well, we'll grab the military unit production bonus. We're pumping a gunboat over in Jimboomba and a farmer lab over in Freeland. Here, we're working on the laboratory. What else do we have queued up? A cyto nursery. And our people are working reasonable tiles here. We could use another worker. Alright, fine, let's buy a worker. And veterancy gained. That's nice. Okay, so we can grab either 10% strength and range strength, or insta-heal. Alright, so we're going to take discipline and hang out in the city. Kavitha is delighted by our robust exchange of goods and wealth. Alright, so they're friendly. We can go and sign like a declaration of friendship or whatever the equivalent is. We should probably do that before we declare war as well, since probably there'll be a bit of a warmonger penalty or something like that. Seek LG. Yeah, we don't need to grab everything in the bottom tier of the virtue to go on to the next one. Like we could beeline down the center here, but the lines, I assume, are requirements. So if we wanted to, say, grab joint operations, we would have to go and grab special service. And to get special service, we'll need Liberation Army. So if we want to finish out Might, there's a lot of stuff that we need to grab here. I think we're pretty much done with Prosperity though. Although, +7 health. I think right now I am preoccupied with getting our military up. So we're concentrating on the might tree for now. But all that could change, depending on how our war with Kozlov goes. Alright, so this explorer is now fully healed. He's still being boxed in by these aliens though, and I do want him to get over to that satellite. Where did it even go? Ah, right